How are you doing, guys? We're back with another video, and today's topic is how to choose a statistical test. So, what is a statistical test? Statistical test is simply a tool to determine whether the association between two variables or more is statistically significant. Okay, so as we proceed with the table, we see that we have independent variables and dependent variables. So what is the difference? For independent variables, they are usually a cause, okay? And dependent variables are usually the effect. For example, if I'm experimenting with the association between smoking and lung cancer, my independent variable would be smoking, and my dependent variable would be lung cancer. Okay, so if the dependent variable is qualitative, okay, and my dependent variable is also qualitative, I will be using something called chi-square. So, for example, if I'm experimenting with smoking and lung cancer, which are both categorical variables, I will be using chi-square. However, if my independent variable is categorical, but my dependent variable is quantitative, I will be either using t-test or ANOVA. And what determines which test I will be using is the number of groups I'm comparing. For example, if I'm comparing smoking status, whether it's positive or negative, and the effect on it on the lifespan. So lifespan is quantitative and smoking is qualitative or categorical. I will be using t-test because I'm comparing between two groups, smokers and non-smokers. However, if I'm experimenting with something like grades of obesity and its effects on systolic blood pressure, uh, grades of obesity are grade 1, grade 2, grade 3. For example, I will be using ANOVA, not t-test. Why? Because I'm comparing between three groups or more. Okay. And if my two variables, the independent and dependent variables, are quantitative, I will be using something like correlation or linear regression. An example of two quantitative variables is number of cigarettes smoked per day and the effect of them on systolic blood pressure. Those are both quantitative variables, so we'll be using correlation or linear regression, as we've said. Okay, so let's apply some of what we've learned to this case. A study investigates whether there is an association between coffee consumption uh, versus and the presence of insomnia among hospital residents. Researchers survey 300 residents and classify each participant into one of the two categories for each variable. Which of the following is the most appropriate statistical test to analyze this association? Okay, first of all, we need to determine what is our independent variable and where is our dependent variable. In this case, our independent variable is coffee consumption and the dependent variable is insomnia. Very good. Second step is to determine if these variables are qualitative or quantitative. So for both coffee and insomnia, these are qualitative variables, okay, or categorical variables. So what do we use to compare between two categorical values or variables? You can pause the video to think about it. The answer is chi-square. So that's it for the video, and thank you for watching.